And
let's just
suppose
jump
we can
into
start
this.
to get into the game now. So Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in football. Like
Yeah. Justin
let's just put
Jefferson.
that out there right now. What he did today was fantastic. 10
Dude.
catches, 193 and the touchdown. The celebration. Don't do that one again. I didn't even realize until the announcers mentioned that he started grabbing at his hamstring. Apparently, someone said like that their young TikTok friends said that that is just the way they do that now. It's a TikTok thing, which I don't like it.
Yeah. We don't need that, because if that would have happened, we would not have had him at the end of the game when he made that fucking amazing catch, dude.
The best catch that I've ever seen. Like, dude, there's a lot of good catches out there, but that one in that 4th and 19, Kirko Chains just chucks it up to him. He's one-handed.
Game's over. Game's over if you don't get this.
Exactly, for sure. One-handed steals it from the defender. Somehow it doesn't touch the ground, and he comes up with a catch. It's one of those things that just normal receivers don't do. Mm-hmm. Like, you need to be an absolute, like, legit elite wide receiver
player in the game. And then he went up to Stephon Diggs and said, "Hold my beer." For Stephon Diggs, nice catch he had. It was nothing compared to Justin Jefferson's. An absolute clutch play. That's a huge thing about this Vikings team, man, is the grit, the coming back and making huge clutch plays. Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson this game, Cam Dantzler against the Saints, right? That was the Saints game he did that?
No, that was Bears game. He did that. That was the Bears game.
Oh, was it the Bears game?
Yeah.
That was the Bears game. It was the Bears game because it was on
ISM, yeah. But, like, it's just, and that's the thing you got to respect with this football team. You know, it's like it's not always pretty. It's not, you know, it's frustrating at times. And I'm in the mode now where I'm just full on that, like, because they said that back in 2017. You know, I think Paul Allen talked about it. He said, you know, you don't see teams like this often. Let's just find ways to win like we did in 2017.
Yeah.
So he just said, you just got to enjoy the ride. And that's the biggest thing. It's like, it's not always going to be fun. It's not always going to be pretty, but, like, we're winning games and this doesn't happen often. You just gotta enjoy the ride. And this game, people are calling it game of the year already. And it's, you know, week 9 or week 10, you know, but, like, it's pretty legit game of the year. Like, it was so, and I was last week, beginning of the 4th quarter, I was just like, you know, whatever. Delvin Cook had the long touchdown. We were still down 10 against one of the best teams in football in their stadium. Like, I don't know. This just feels like a game we're just not going to find a way to win. And at the end of the day, man, like, Kevin O'Connell, I questioned some of his decisions early on the 3rd and 4th and 1 in the, was that in the 3rd or 4th quarter?
Wait, the 3rd and 1? That was in the
2nd quarter, wasn't it?
Second quarter, yeah. I think so. That was right before half.
Yeah, it was. Yep. He decides to throw it twice. I questioned him, and, you know, but if there's one thing with Kevin O'Connell that it's evident, we've talked about it all year long, it's just the grit and determination this team has, you know. And Kirk, you look at Kirko Chains, you know, he's not middle, you know, starts off awesome. Middle of the game, you know, he made those a couple back-breaking interceptions. You're just like, how do you, you know, that's, most teams lose football games when you have 2 interceptions like that, you know? And the fact that, you know, he turned it around again when it matters is just the biggest thing with Kirk Cousins. Like, that's the change. When it matters, he's gonna perform. And he's done it so far this year. 4th quarter, phenomenal. You know, sure, it would have been nice to punch a touchdown in at the end of the game there. It would have been nice to, you know, first drive in overtime, punch a touchdown in, but, man, just the determination on this team. And then the defense has been, you know, nothing short of amazing ever since, you know, since the start of the season. Daniel Hunter's turned it around. You know, we're down to Duke Shelley, who he called up from the practice squad this week.
What a play.
And he makes a huge play before the interception. Just, like,
huge.
I don't know, man. Like, this team is something. This team is something else. And
that's something about our defense. And we talked about this going into this week. Because we still, obviously, we were letting them come down the field with us on a few drives, like, no problem. But it's the turnovers that we've started to create now as a defense. Like, we have picked up that so much. That's, like, the big difference. After, like, the first 4 weeks when people were calling for Donatel's head and was like, let's get him fired and something, which was a lot of people. One thing we can say for sure is all of a sudden we started getting tons of turnovers. Like, from the Saints game, I believe, is when we had a couple turnovers. I don't remember. I think it was that game. I don't know. From that point on to today, we have to have one of the we have to be one of the teams with that most amount of turnovers since that week, if not of the year at this point. I mean, those turnovers are huge this game. Patrick Peterson with 2 massive ones. Well, the first one was on fourth down anyways, but he still picked up like 20 yards, I think. Obviously that last one was massive. The one that Caleb Evans created and Bynum was able to grab the fumble or whatever. That was massive. That was huge. That's a huge thing with our defense. Like, yeah, we're giving them some yards, you could say. But one thing is for sure, who cares when you're creating these turnovers? Because that's like the biggest thing. For sure. Hey, everybody's watching. Thanks for jumping in here. Let us know what you think about this game. This game was the craziest game of the year. Yeah. I mean, of any team. Insane. I don't even know what to think about it. We're just sitting here. We're jumping in, and I still, like, my emotions are, like, up and down. Patrick Peterson gets a game-winning interception, and I'm like, is the game really over? I don't know.
Honestly, I was almost in tears after that game because there's so much going on. In the words of Everson Griffin, first I was happy, then I was sad, and there's so much. That's what this team has been, just emotions, high, low. But you just got to enjoy it, man, because we're 8-1, and it's 8-1.
I mean, let's go through here. I'm going to actually go through.
Hold up 1 second, Jamie. I want to do me a favor quick. Let me know. Are you using your mic, or is it going through your computer right now? Just double check that for me.
I'll double check. Says I'm using my mic.
Oh, you are? Okay, good.
Does it sound the best?
Yep, we're good. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, dude. Anyways, I do want to say, or let's go through just like this whole game real quick. Just
but can I interject for one thing before we get into that?
Jump right in there. Yeah.
Like, I want to ask you this. If I told you 29 of 43, 330 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 picks, who would you say that is?
Kirk Cousins.
that is Josh Allen. And 1 fumble, by the way, with Josh Allen as well.
Right.
2 interceptions, crucial points of the game when he threw those. Kirk Cousins, 30 of 50, 357, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Now, his interceptions were terrible. Like the overthrow to KJ or near KJ, the one where I don't know what he was looking at when he threw it off to the side. I think he thought that was Thielen, but it wasn't. So it's like he had a couple really bad interceptions as well. But, he gets all this hate for the interceptions and the stats. Josh Allen has thrown 6 interceptions in the last 3 weeks. 2 against the Packers, 2 last week against the Jets in a losing effort, and then this week at home. And I don't care if there's Bills fans or any NFL fans out there saying the Vikings aren't legit after this game because of Josh Allen's elbow injury. Pardon my French here, but just go ahead and fuck off. Like, he played the game. He was bombing the ball. He was running. He was putting his shoulder down. He was tossing his elbow to try to break the ball loose. Josh Allen was fine in this game.
Yeah, there's no excuses.
He was still Josh Allen. As we saw the running game, we could not stop him. So this is a legitimate win for the Minnesota Vikings. Dude. This win right here puts them in Super Bowl contention. Like, no doubt in my mind. What they did in this game was nothing short of spectacular.
And we're going to get into some tweet stuff in a while here and kind of look to see what everybody's saying. Finally get some respect on our names, the Vikings name. I did want to run in through this game so far. So in the first quarter, we come down. They started with the ball. Did they go 3 and out? Or they just didn't get anywhere? Like 3 and out, didn't get anywhere. We go down, score, just like we always do, just for them to have back-to-back touchdowns, right? Mm-hmm. And then did we score? And then we scored a field goal in the second half. How did that roll out again?
Let's see here. I got the game cast up over here. So we scored a touchdown. They scored 2 touchdowns. Yeah, they scored 2 touchdowns, kicked a field goal. We got the field goal with 7:12 left at the end or near in the second quarter. Then we forced them into a 3 and out again, got the ball back. That's where the Kevin O'Connell question marks came in when he called the 2 passing plays on 3rd and 4th and 1. And then we allowed them to drive right down the field and score the touchdown. At that point, I was, as you could tell from our Twitter, I was so mad at that point. We were down 24-10.
So we were down 24-10 going into halftime.
Yeah.
Yep. Against arguably the best offense in the entire league from like a talent perspective, Josh Allen at quarterback.
Yeah, and we did nothing until the end of the third quarter after Delvin Cook, right after I told my dad he's lost a step. He's looking
and then just boom. And well, you even told me it was like so
81-yarder.
So it was going to third. They scored a field goal in the third quarter before we scored anything, right? So they scored a field goal. So it was 27-10. And what, there's like 2 minutes left of the third quarter, I believe. And then that's when we got the ball. I think you texted me even, and you're like, I think you texted me and you said, Delvin, or no, not Delvin Cook, but that we're gonna have to get a turnover or whatever. And I was thinking, like, yeah, obviously you got about 1 quarter left. We're down 17 points, and we come in. Delvin Cook, first, well, that's the first play of that drive, right? First play goes off,
Yep.
81-yard rushing touchdown.
Longest run of his career, which I thought was kind of surprising.
It looks like Delvin Cook is so fast. When you watch him, it doesn't even look like he's going that fast. It's like he's slow motion, and he's just running right past everybody around him. It's so crazy. And dude, that was huge. So like we wasted no time, just 17-27, just like that, with like a minute left in the third quarter. And then what did they, is that when they came down and they hit? No. So then I don't even remember what even happened in the fourth. Man, this game was just so up and down. This was so everywhere. This is when shit got real. Third, Delvin Cook scores that touchdown. Ever since that play, everything just, all the craziness started happening. All the crazy stuff happened. You got the gameplay on this? The game cast?
Yeah, the game cast on this one. Like, yeah, it was that fourth quarter was wild. You got our boy Duluth native CJ Ham with the rushing touchdown in the fourth quarter, brings us down by 4, and then just craziness ensues. We get the ball back, drive all the way down, get it down on the 1 yard line. Kirk Cousins doesn't get it at that point. It's just like depression sets in.
But this is on the way down there, though. This is when, on that play, this is when we were down. We were 4th and 18, and Kirk Cousins, or 3rd and 18, and Kirk Cousins throws that ball. 4th and 18. Sorry, I keep saying that.
It was 4th and 18. You're getting too excited.
I know, it's so crazy. 4th and 18, Kirk Cousins throws that ball up to Justin Jefferson, just for Justin Jefferson to bring that ball down, which is the most insane catch. Like, the game's over if he doesn't catch that, pretty much. Dude. And let's bring this actually question in right away. I love that the Vikings kept fighting and never quit. They came back from a 7-point deficit versus one of the best defenses in the NFL. Best defenses and best offense. Arguably, up until this point.
Super Bowl favorites to start the season.
Yeah, and honestly, you could still ask people today. They might, after this loss, they might say something different. But the Bills were the favorite up until maybe the Jets, the loss to the Jets last week. So that is massive, dude. And that, like, we just win games, man. I mean, I don't know what it is where we come out in the first quarter, in the first drive, and score a touchdown just to be like mediocre for the next 2 quarters, to put everything together. Kirk Cousins, man, he had 2 very bad picks, one right into the other player's hands, but he shook that off and he came with swag, dude. That Kirk Clutchins, Kirk Thuggins, whatever you want to call him. Speaking of that, it'll be interesting to see what he does today on that plane back to Minnesota. I think it's going to be, I don't even know. Give me a guess here. What do you think Kirk Cousins is going to bring? It's going to go viral. It's going to be huge. This is going to be one of the biggest, most viral videos of the year. I'm calling it right now, is whatever Kirk Cousins does on this plane. Kirk Cousins is going to be everywhere. He's going to be a media darling.
Hold up 1 second right here. So my favorite beer, McGolden Light, Minnesota beer. Check this out. I love it. And they said you like that on their Twitter post.
Yes, let's go.
That is fantastic. I love that so
dude,
much.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I'm expecting some grills. I think they had to get, I don't know, like, you're against the Bills. You had to have some sort of, like, some high confidence to think you're coming away with a victory here. I believe as a team, we thought that. I thought that. Not all of us in this thing was 100% sure we're coming out with the win in this. But I think they did. I think they got Kirk Cousins some grills made, and I think you're going to see him with the shirt off, with the glasses, 10 chains, some grills. It's going to be wild, dude.
For sure. And that is just such, again, I'll go back to this, such a testament to the coaching staff and the front office. Like, Kevin O'Connell, I still think he has, and it's not unfair to say this, and it's not a slight, because, you know, he's had what, like, 1 season in Washington where he was like a legitimate play calling offensive coordinator. I think he still has a little ways to go in that aspect of the game, of his play calling and a little bit game management type stuff. But when you just want to talk, like when you think of head coach, when you think of leadership, like I used to work in a management role. When you think of leadership, like what that looks like. It looks like somebody who believes in their team, who allows them to be themselves, and has high expectations for them, and they know that. Kevin O'Connell has brought something to this team that it's been missing in years past. Like Mike Zimmer, I love Mike Zimmer as a person. At the end of the day, his coaching style got stale a little bit, but Kevin O'Connell understands new age NFL coaching, and he knows what you need to do with these young players.
New age leadership in general.
Yes, and it's following all the way up to this guy in Kirk Cousins, who we've never seen be like he is right now. He's loving this, it's fantastic. This is what, you are seeing what true leadership looks like. And it's fantastic, man.
You're bringing people up.
No matter how frustrating it may be watching this team play, sometimes just the win.
And you're bringing it's a leadership that you're bringing people up. You're bringing that's the thing that's difference with Zimmer and Kevin O'Connell's. The leadership is, if you do something wrong, you're going to get on someone from it. Where I think Kevin O'Connell, he brings everybody and all the players and everyone in the organization really up. He brings their spirit up. He brings everything, their morale up. It brings everything up. He makes sure, that's what's with Kirk Cousins. You're not getting yelled at. You're being all right, keep your head up, go out there and make a play. And that's what Kirk Cousins has done. And that's another thing. I do think I think it's going to be Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson in this video. I can't get over this video. It's going to be a great video. And I think it's going to be Kirk Cousins and it's going to be Justin Jefferson, and they're going to be iced out. And this video is going to be crazy. And you're going to see both those guys on everybody's podcast this week. Everybody, the top people. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull in a Kirk Cousins or Justin Jefferson. Maybe Spinoza can bring Kirk Cousins in. But I don't know. I'm super excited for that. But I wanted to jump right back in actually into this game, though, because the craziest stuff started happening is when we went downfield and Justin Jefferson caught that fourth and 18, and we got the ball all the way down to the 1-inch line or whatever. And I think Kirk Cousins passed it. I don't know how the officiating called it not a touchdown. In my opinion, I think it should have been called on the field a touchdown. And yeah, there wasn't enough evidence to see that it wasn't a touchdown, but I also think there was definitely no evidence showing it. I think there was more evidence showing it was whatever. It didn't even matter because they got the ball back. They ended up fumbling the ball, and we ended up scoring a touchdown, giving them 41 seconds left. Of course, I don't like to give anybody 41 seconds. As a Viking fan, I don't like – does any – all right, let's bring this up. Oh, you got it. I got it. All right. Does anyone know if there's another Kirk Cousins with chains on left? That's what we were talking about.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's 100% coming. They do it after every single away victory. This is by far the biggest. This is one of the biggest away victories that we've seen in recent memory, especially the way it rolled out, especially with how Justin Jefferson performed. Kirk Cousins coming in clutch again. I'm thinking you're going to see the most extravagant version of this video coming out, and it's going to be everywhere. So expect it.
There's a part of me that thinks that the team doesn't even want to actually win the games for playoff reasons. They just want to win the game so they can see what they can make Kirk Cousins put on himself or not. Yeah, apparently,
dude. It's we don't even want to win the games early. It's we're almost we're planning these games out for end game. We just know we'll beat you end game. We don't care if we give you 20 points. We don't care if you're the best. Arguably the best team in the NFL. We'll give you some points. We'll give you that cushion just to come back and throw it right in your face. Going into, even though we did allow that field goal at the end, but we needed that field goal. I like that we got that. I like that we got that touchdown. We got that fumble touchdown. That was kind of lucky. They come down, hit that field goal. If we won right there, everybody would have called us lucky for that play. That was kind of fluky, whatever. Well, we go into overtime. We go down, get points on the board, even though we should have probably scored a touchdown. But we got on the board, give them a chance just to get that interception by Patrick Peterson. And nobody can say shit now. Nobody gets to say anything. We straight out beat this team, this Buffalo Bills team.
Yep. And again, I know we mentioned it earlier, but people may not have been watching that Duke Shelley breakup on Dawson Knox front corner of the end zone. Huge play from a guy that just called up to the roster. Like
Yeah, massive, dude.
That's special. That's special, man.
Imagine you're in his shoes and he gets this chance to play in an NFL game in this kind of environment against this team, and he comes up a big clutch play against a big player in Dawson Knox. That is massive.
Also looking at now halftime, Dallas, I mean, this probably happened a while ago, so you guys don't know this. Dallas did tie Green Bay 14-14. If Dallas can find a way to pull this off, that's basically division.
Basically shooing.
Almost. Yeah, that's, I mean, 5.5 games with what? How many games are there to play after this one? We're 8-1, so 9, so 7, 8 more games.
8 more games, yeah.
Like
we're looking
good over relatively quickly.
And we just, especially like we're that team now.
Yeah,
we know it. This is what we needed to do.
We talked about Delvin, the 14 for 119 and the touchdown. The big 81-yard touchdown run has really kickstarted things in the second half. But let's just jump back to Justin Jefferson here. 10 catches, 193 yards, including I don't know if you guys can see it, but including this one, like right here. I don't know if we can zoom in on it enough, but like that special catch right there. But yeah, that's just amazing,
dude. That catch is insane.
And he had another 5 for 49, and a couple huge catches as well. I mean, Adam Thielen, no, he's not the Adam Thielen of a couple years ago. Probably on most teams right now would be a number 3, but man, what some of those catches he made were phenomenal. TJ Hawkinson, 7 catches, 45 yards. He had a couple. I think he had they have a couple drops in there. He had 10 targets. So he had a couple drops, but KJ 4 for 35. I don't know what it is with KJ. He hasn't really made that huge step that I was hoping he would make. Let's see what we got here. Prince Ross. That was the best catch I've ever seen since Randy Moss. Yeah, that's the best catch I've ever seen since the Minneapolis Miracle play. And Stephon Diggs, give the guy credit. I mean, Stephon Diggs, 12 catches, 128. Again, everybody talked about it all week long. This trade was a win-win for both teams. But like
more of a win.
I know he had that catch, and everyone's like, "That's catch of the year." Then Justin Jefferson is just like,
"Hold my beer." He said, "Hold my beer."
Not quite. And then Justin Jefferson goes and just does what he does, and that was
But the thing with that catch, it wasn't just an amazing catch. It was 4th and 18, and we would have lost to a team that we were trying to come back on, one of the best teams in the NFL that had Josh Allen. Like, just
and give credit where credit is due. Josh Allen, man, like tough guy. Went out there with the injury. I mean, we could not tackle the guy to save our lives. Like, just with how hard he runs and how he plays the game of football is just fantastic to watch. So give credit to the Bills. Very talented team over there, you know?
Yeah.
Again, I'm still calling for this game was exciting. I'm still calling for that 0-4 Super Bowl. Someone's got to win it. Seeing this game again in the Super Bowl would be absolutely fantastic. Obviously, a ways out. There's a lot that's going to happen before then, but
yeah, all I know is right now I want the Eagles second round playoffs. Actually, NFC Championship again would be sweet. And yeah, I want it. I want to smoke. I want to go there, whoop on the Eagles, and who knows who will play in the Super Bowl. But I'm pumped up, man. No, that was a crazy game. Emotions all over the place. Justin Jefferson's insane. Not even just that one catch he had. He had like 3 catches that were massive in this game at the end of the game.
And then it was overtime where, I think it was overtime.
2 catches in overtime. That drive, he had 2 huge catches.
Kirk did a couple of things this game where the haters were out in full force. People were mad at him for not running in that touchdown. It's like, that's not his fault. He tried his hardest. It's like, it is what it is.
Right at the end there?
The throw that he made it was to Jefferson on the sidelines, I think, where he was taking the hit. And he somehow had got enough behind it to get the ball out to Justin Jefferson. At that point, you think you're putting yourself in position to win the game. But like that throw, I mean, that's one thing you can't question about Kirk Cousins anymore is the guy's toughness. Like, he stands in there, he takes the hits, he makes the throws. That's all you can ask for with the guy. So like that throw and that catch. Time. Yeah, then he made the other throw to Jefferson where there's a couple guys around him, and somehow he still got it down at the
Justin Jefferson
5-yard line.
Yeah, 5-3 yard. Obviously, we should have scored after that, but dude, Justin Jefferson, like, how are you that clutch as a wide receiver? Like, there's only so much power in your hands. The ball needs to be near you, and then you can be clutch. And he just does it, dude. Yeah. That was the game. I mean, I say Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in the league. And I do mean it, but this game is like, there's no one out there doing that. You you have Kirk Cousins. He put the ball in the right area for you to make this play, but you make it. Like that's like you're talking about an impossible play in the most important moment of the game, in the most important game of the year. Like there's a lot on that, and he steps up.
Yeah.
And what he scored, he should have had. Oh no, he didn't get that second touchdown, I guess, but he almost had 2 touchdowns after having a touchdown last week. And people are saying, he hasn't scored since week 1. Well, now he has 2 back-to-back weeks, almost 3, and he's came in. It's insane,
Right.
and people are going to be talking about this game all week long, starting with us, by the way. So if you're watching this, please hit that subscribe button and keep commenting and letting us know what you thought of this game, because it was that crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, everyone's gonna be talking about it. Everyone's gonna be talking about the Vikings, and I love that shit.
And let's take a second here, give some claps to Greg Joseph. I mean, missing extra points, but he hit the extra point length field goal to put us up by 3. Good on you, Greg Joseph. But why was he wearing the gloves first off? Okay, let's talk about special teams. Let's get into special teams here a little bit. The gloves were stupid. Greg Joseph, come on. Don't be wearing. I know you're a kicker, but take the gloves off. It looks weak. Secondly, I don't know if it's planned that we're just not kicking into the end zone, or if Greg Joseph.
It has to be. No, it's planned.
But
right?
if it's
got to be planned,
and Greg Joseph just doesn't have the leg to get it there, there's a problem.
Yeah, there's no way. It has to be planned, and I'm just wondering what it is, because I mean, it seems like they're getting at least to the 30 on us every time this last game, at least a 30. So you're not getting the 25, which is what a touchdown is. Well, besides that one play that they actually got tons of yards.
Yeah. But and plus I think it's something to do with the gunners might not be getting there as fast either, which is strange because Dan Chisena is Mr. Speed Demon out there. Right. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of what they're doing on kickoffs. I say just kick it through the end zone, especially in that end of game situation.
Right.
Let's talk about officiating too. Speaking of end of game situation,
I want to Kene. He had a really nice kick return in this game. That was that was huge for us too. That was super nice.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, officiating. Another second week, 2 weeks in a row now where I was not super happy with a lot of the officiating.
Yeah, my biggest issue with officiating was just that Gabe Davis. How do you not stop the? How do you just not stop? If there's any question about it, you stop that. It's that really to me was they want Buffalo to win this football game. You can't have the Super Bowl favorites losing 2 games in a row. You just can't do it.
Right.
It would be such a heroic story. Josh Allen practices Friday, comes back, leads the Bills to the victory over this. They would say the 7-2 Minnesota Vikings, a really good team, and they wouldn't believe it. But it was all about what the NFL wanted. And guess what? Josh Allen fucked it up by throwing an interception in the end zone.
And then fumbled that, and then fumbled the snap. And they still tried give it to him with that Gabe Davis catch that they didn't review, even though there's 30 seconds left in the game.
Yeah. And that was the biggest one.
That was massive.
You need to stop the clock and review that.
Luckily for us, though, this is the game. I think, man, we're going to be media darlings this week. Everything is coming up for us to be media. The Kirk Thuggins thing, with the necklaces, we go in Bill's home, and we beat Josh Allen and the Bills the way that we did it. We're going to be huge. So I'm hoping these media people, the NFL, everybody's going to get on our side now. And now we're that team that we go into a game and we feel like the refs are on our side. And that is true. Going into this game, it is kind of like the Bills lost to the Jets last week. How do they lose 2 weeks in a row? And that's honestly was in my mind. But I feel like we're going to turn the tables on this, and we're going to be a good media team. What's up, Casey?
We have a little bit of news. So Ben Gessling on Twitter, what's next for the plane ride home for Kirk Cousins? I think we reached the mountaintop last week. I don't know that there's anywhere to go from here. Someone else may have to take the mantle. Patrick Peterson said the players have something planned for Cousins.
Yeah, you hear that? It's going viral, dude. I hope Justin Jefferson's in it too. You need Justin Jefferson. That was a duo right there at the end of the game here. That's going to be huge. That's what I'm saying, man. It's popping off. You're going to see the Vikings become one of the most popular teams in the NFL now. After all this lack of respect, I guess.
One more thing, little mini plug for something you guys are going to see later on in the week here. Let's go ahead and take a look at a tweet from Tanishka here. Vikings picture. Oh boy, am I excited to watch my favorite team play. I'm going to kill myself. Nice, we won. Starting on this Wednesday, we are going to be doing a show with Dave from Minnesota Sports Talk. It's going to be called the the skol experience.
Yep.
And Tanishka will be our first guest, so that'll be a lot of fun. She's got a lot of good takes on the old Twitter here. But that picture is like 100% like indicative of how I felt during that game. Like it started, I'm just like, okay, cool, first drive. Like I'm excited to watch the Vikings play. If they win, it's going to be fantastic. If they lose, I'm expecting it. They come out that first drive, you get the hopes up, and then the middle of the game happens. It's just like the waves and waves and waves, and then you hit like. And then you freaking like get into like that fourth quarter, and the waves even hit harder, and it's just
it was nonstop.
And then they won at the end, and you're happy.
It was like this. This is my emotions for that fourth quarter into overtime. Like I didn't even know what to feel anymore. I felt like a psychopath or something. Like I had no emotion. It was just dead until we won, and then I was pumped up again. But it was like, what is going on here? I thought we were gonna win, then lose, and then the whole time you're just feeling like, when are we going to lose? Like when are we just gonna lose? And it just didn't happen, man.
Because we're always expecting that. We're expecting the Vikings to like.
I know, especially after last year. Last year was bad with that because we came so close so many times just to lose. But this year's been the complete opposite.
For sure. And like Vikings of old just find ways to lose these games. This year we're finding ways to win them, and that's all about the guys at the top of the chain. Kwesi, Kevin O'Connell, Kirk Cousins, even to an extent. Like at the end of the this, and that's kind of what I was looking at some Twitter stuff. Purple for the Win tweeted at halftime. It's like, you know, what do you do? Like, what is this team going to do? Are they going to fight in the second half? Or are they just going to tuck their tail between their legs, go home, and move on to, you're still 7-2 and you move on next week? This team fought tooth and nail to get back into this game, find a way to win it. And it
doesn't even make sense. Like tomorrow, like you can only say so much and think so much today. I think tomorrow, Monday's always like the day where you like reflect and be like, damn, that really happened. We really beat the Bills that way. And we are that team. We're just we're the team that just finishes games. Like that's one thing that every game's proved us, but this was like a huge way of showing how we finish games. Like every single game is crazy and fun. It doesn't matter how good you are, how bad you are. We're going to let it come down to the end, and then we're going to step on your throat and win games. I don't know. That's what's happening, and I'm here for that. Are you finding any other tweets? Bring up some tweets.
Let's just go through Vikings Twitter here. Vikings Twitter, by the way, for those of you that don't know, incredibly interesting place. There's a lot that goes on here. Let's see. We got Shannon Sharp, who picked the Vikes to beat the Bills in Buffalo today, and First Cousins to outdo Allen. You guessed. You get one guess with Jeopardy music playing in the background. I'm guessing Shannon Sharp was probably the one that picked the Minnesota Vikings to win. Brandon loves. Okay, let's see.
Ooh, look at that.
I feel like jaw dropping is usually hyperbole, but my mouth literally fell open when he caught this. Insanity. We might get copyright for this, but hey, we're going to get copyrighted for this if it makes it on YouTube. Let's just.
No, we're
excellent
good.
catch, JJ, pulling the ball down. Cool.
We're good. We got time. We're good.
Got time. Pat McAfee showing some love. Pat McAfee, kick Aaron Rodgers off your Tuesday segment. Bring Kirk Cousins on. Aaron Rodgers is done.
You know that Kirk Cousins last week, Kirk Cousins on Pat McAfee's show. I bet you that was like their biggest highlight of the year was from Kirk Cousins saying he's absolutely strapped.
Is Kirk Cousins like he's becoming popular? In this last week, what has he done? The chain video comes out. He's on McAfee. He's on the Manning cast on Monday Night Football. Like those are two things that if you're on those two shows, you've made it. And
you haven't seen anything yet. But the cool thing about it is like for a guy who's been so underappreciative by a lot of people, even including me sometimes, he and especially just because he kind of has that, he's like that dad or whatever, he's the guy who drives the van and wears, I don't know, turtlenecks and shit. And but now he is like becoming cool right before our eyes. All these chain things, people are loving it, and he's eating it up. All the players are eating it up. It's bringing up the morale. That's like a good leadership. Kirk Cousins wearing chains is a good leadership move from Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, for sure.
And
that's what people. That had been the question about Kirk Cousins: is he a true leader?
And he showed it just from that, just by wearing chains and winning games and stuff. And some people are arguing, like people are laughing at Kirk Cousins. It's like, dude, Kirk Cousins he's a friggin' NFL quarterback. He knows what he's doing. it's definitely a laughing with him situation, and his teammates are eating it up. As Kirk Cousins, like, you should just love that your teammates are loving this
This right here
and
could almost make
respecting you and loving you for it.
this could
You
almost
got
make the
something
thumbnail
funny
right
here, I
here.
can tell.
Ziggy Wilf.
Yeah, that's just how we all feel today, right?
I love it. That's how I was in my living room after during this game, man. It was awesome.
Dude, I did like a fucking penguin slide on the floor. I didn't even know what to do with myself in these kind of wins.
Yeah, man. It's fantastic. I was just looking through some other stuff. We won't be able to, probably can't put this one on either, but they're having their locker rooms. Did you notice that Andrew Booth started bringing, or not Andrew Booth, Brian Asamoah started bringing a big boombox into the locker rooms now, and they just start rocking out some music after the games.
Fantastic. I did think of something. I don't know if you heard any updates yet. I know, because speaking about the chains and stuff, I know Christian Darrisaw actually gave Kirk Cousins his first chain on that very first video.
Yep.
But Christian Darrisaw went down this game with an injury. Did you hear any updates on this injury?
They said it was a concussion. So
okay, so
he didn't come back, so I'm sure it's an actual. We had a lot of concussions this game. For sure, him and Caleb Evans went out with concussion.
I thought Hawkinson maybe would have, because he got hit in the head for sure.
He took more of a shot to the chest, I think. Okay, I think they were worried about the whiplash when he fell backwards.
Yeah,
but I mean, I could see how you would have.
He was like laying on. Well, he was like kind of like laying there for a second.
Yeah. I hate to do this to everybody. I'm gonna step away and use the washroom for a second. So, Jamie, if you want to keep him entertained while I'm
gone. I don't know, man. I just think this game was crazy. Hit me up in the comments though. Let's talk about it. Otherwise, actually, you know what? I'll go into some stats here. I'll dive in a little bit deeper in that area. I'm gonna actually share my screen. And let's see what we got all around this game here. Right here. So, Kirk Cousins, 357 yards, which is a ton. 30 for 50, a touchdown. Those 2 interceptions weren't great, but he came back with clutch big time in the fourth quarter. Dalvin Cook, 119 yards, touchdown. Obviously, that 81 yards was crazy. Kirk Cousins, 6 for 12. Running that rush by Kirk Cousins was awesome. He was showing Josh Allen up on that one. I wish he would have hurdled that last guy to score a touchdown. Alexander Madison comes in and just does what he is. CJ Ham. I honestly was watching this game because I know CJ Ham personally. I went to high school with him. I was wondering where he was this whole game because I did not see him there a lot. So for him to come in and score that touchdown was so awesome. That's like the cherry on top for this game for me, for one of the best games I've ever seen in so many different ways. And CJ Ham scoring in this one is so big. And for him to go out and pick tails in overtime and for us to get this ball back, to get the ball first was huge. So I love that. Let's go, CJ Ham. Justin Jefferson, insane. 10 catches, 193. Doesn't even tell the whole story. That one catch on 4th and 18, absolutely insane. And then he had 2 huge catches after that in overtime, including that one that brought us down to the 5-yard line. He's the best wide receiver in the NFL. Adam Thielen, 5 for 49. TJ Hawkinson, we didn't actually see a lot of him at the end, but 7 receptions for 45. What a huge trade Kwesi made for us. I mean, everything from Kwesi and KOC is just a massive difference in our front office, and it's huge. So I love that.
Brian Asamoah, by the way, just tweeted, who can make 100 plus Kirko chain shirts? That would be fantastic if the entire team gets some shirts.
Yeah, we need to do that.
By the way, Dallas is down on the 13-yard line of Green Bay.
Hey, let's go.
Let's hope they pull ahead here. What's he got? Okay. Moving on up. All
right. Anyways, I would say Eric Kendrick, 10 tackles. Sullivan, 9 tackles. Harrison, 6. Jonathan Bullard, 3 tackles for a loss. Huh? That's a pretty quiet one. James Lynch had that 1 tackle for a loss. That was really nice on Singletary. Daniil Hunter, sack. Zadarius Smith, sack. Do we know, did Zadarius Smith come back in the game after that injury?
Yep. Yeah, he was in there. Nice. He was in there on that last drive.
Dude, Daniil Hunter and Zadarius Smith. Everything we were hoping from those guys, it's starting to happen, and they're starting to step up.
Daniil Hunter, by the way, Daniil Hunter is going to get paid somewhere. Like
by us
after a slow start, coming back from injury, new shift in the defense. Like he's fine. What is it? He has 4 sacks the last 2 weeks, doesn't he?
I think so.
Didn't he have 2 last week, 2 this week?
No, he had 1 this week. And
Maybe
they gave Za'Darius
I
that other one.
someone.
They gave
Oh,
Za'Darius that other
I
one.
thought somebody
Yeah,
said he
yeah.
had 2. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, him and Zadarius Smith each having a sack, that's huge. But still, just the way that Danielle Hunter's came around, I don't know if we're going to be able to afford him at this point. Because I would say if you're going to keep one of the two, you'd probably keep Zadarius. But
I don't know. Because Danielle Hunter's a little younger too, right? Actually, I don't even know.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Danielle Hunter's way younger. I'm pretty.
Yeah,
sure.
dude. Those guys.
Tim the Tatman tweeted the Vikings Bills game should go down in football history.
Ooh.
Yes, it should, Timmy. I agree. We'll retweet that because big Tim Tatman guy over here.
Dude, everybody's talking about us. Wait till this chain video comes. This is just gonna be crazy. It's gonna be grills. I don't know what else it could be. Besides grills, what else are we thinking here? I don't even know.
Speedo.
That's the next step.
He already lost his shirt.
Yeah, he already lost his shirt. He already he had glasses on already. Probably he had like tons of chains. I think it's time for some grills. I got some plan. I'm ready for it.
What did Kirk Cousins run up to some fans after the game? Love to see that. Right here.
We're not gonna get copyrighted for any of this. There's no way. You can watch that. Copywriting is like, damn, dude's like, give me that chain, boy.
I love Kirk. Man, Kirk Cousins. If you look, Kirk Cousins, yes, he's gonna frustrate you in the middle of games. But if you just don't love what we're seeing from Kirk Cousins so far this season, I really don't know. I really, really don't know what to tell you.
I wanted Kirk Cousins to get traded in this offseason, and I'm glad we kept. I mean, there's some areas, obviously, we saw it in the middle of this game where he threw some really bad interceptions, but there's no question when the game's coming down to the line, to the end of the games, he's stepping up and putting us in positions to win over and over and over and over again. And you can't ask for anything more than that from your quarterback.
Definitely not. Like this is everything we wanted Kirk Cousins to be. He's taking risks, and it's paying off. Sometimes it doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't say on the 2 plays, his 2 interceptions weren't risks. Those were just bad reads, bad decisions. And he still made a couple of those panic throws that we've seen him make. But man, it's just that fourth quarter, and it started last season. When he needs it in the fourth quarter, he finds a way to get it done, and that's really just the biggest thing about what he's doing this year. We're kind of repeating ourselves here, but I mean, we're also very new to the live stream thing. This is our 4th live stream on this channel ever, so we're still trying to kind of get used to that. But I don't know, man. 8-1 Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, let's end it here. 8-1 Minnesota Vikings beat the Bills. We're gonna be hyped for this entire week, for the rest of the season. This is the game that turns the corner for us and the chapter for us moving forward.
And again, this is the test. Either way, this game is going to be the test. You win it, it's a test. You lose it, it's a test. Now we won it, so it's a different test. Now it's how does Kevin O'Connell coach this team? And he's done it so far this year. He hasn't allowed them to get up here after a victory like this. And the same thing after we lost to the Eagles. People were upset. Sure, they were disappointed in themselves, but nobody was like down to the dumps like we suck. Like this team's done. Like we can't do it. They were all like, now we see how we respond. You responded well to a loss. You rattled off 7 straight wins. Now, how do you respond to a win? Can you keep it going? And you get, watching them now, you get a tough Dallas team. Did they score, by the way? Let's see. Dallas up 21-14.
Hey.
But you get a very good Dallas team up next. And how do you respond? Then after that, you got the Patriots on Thanksgiving night. Kirk Cousins, you go out, you beat Dallas next week at a 3:25 game of like America's game of the week. What do you get after that? You get a prime time Sunday night football game, Thanksgiving night. Every football fan in the country is going to be watching you. How do you play? That's going to be these next 2 weeks when you want to talk about like this game. If we lost it, I wasn't going to be super upset because I was figuring we were, but it's a win. What do you do? What do you do the next 2 weeks? These next 2 weeks are going to show you what he is made of as a player because it's big football games, huge football games, and 2 spots. Both of them, the eyes are going to be on you. So what do you do after a win like this? You got to keep rising. You got to keep playing good football. If you don't, the doubters are going to come back out in full force. So these next 2 games are going to just. I'm excited.
Yeah, and that's it's funny because it's like we just get these games are always so close. That's like I feel like we just get humbled as we play these games. Like we come out with a win, but it's always like, yeah, we won, but it wasn't like we just destroyed a team. So I don't see how our team will pull back or pull off the gas That's what I think. It's actually a blessing in disguise that we're winning this way, because I don't think we're sitting here like, oh, we can beat any team. Like, I think it's the opposite, but I do think we have that confidence where it's like, I think we can beat any team. I think we have that confidence, but I don't think it's like we will beat every team. It's more of like we can beat every team.
Yeah.
So I think moving forward here, it's going to be crazy, man. I think the Vikings are going to become media darlings here on out. I think this game up to the going against the Cowboys is going to be huge, and people are going to be talking about it a lot. And I think you're going to see a lot of Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson this week. And I mean, if we keep it up, you're going to see a lot of them moving forward for this entire year. I don't even know, like that whole chain thing was like a marketing genius thing in disguise that just flowed out like perfectly for them. And I think people are eating it up, and everybody, not just Viking fans, everybody's waiting for this video of Kirk Cousins on the plane. I guarantee you that. So
yeah,
I'm excited, man.
For sure. So, but Vikings are 8-1. A lot of big games coming up, man. Like it's everything you could have asked for coming into the season. And if you want to, I'll end it on this. If you want to talk about, a lot of people are like, is the coach going to make that big of a difference? You're seeing it right now. This team would have lost these games last year, and resilience is huge. And that's,
we're showing resilience, man.
We're showing resilience, and that's the best. That's all you can do. And this is still early in Kevin O'Connell's coaching career. You get
starting
the feeling,
off 8-1, no big deal.
You get the feeling that Kevin O'Connell is, you get the feeling Kevin O'Connell is going to be a special football coach, man. Like,
I mean, how many coaches have started 8-1? There's not a lot. If
they said there was a stat that he was like, I can't remember. They said it during the game. If he won this game, he'd have been whatever coach to win 8 of his first 9 games in his rookie season of coaching. I can't remember what the stat was. Can't remember when it was, but that was out there. So, man,
what a win, man. What a win. What a game. It's crazy. I'm still trying to come down to earth a little bit on this one, man. Yeah. But
I don't think I'm ever going to come down to earth on this one, man. It's like, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Get the win. You move on. You're 8-1. It's just,
it's exciting. It's exciting. But yeah, let's wrap this baby up.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. We got a lot going on this week. Make sure to join us Wednesday night. The Skol Experience with Dave from Minnesota Sports Talk, as well as Tanishka this week. We'll probably get back to our power rankings. We got to see where we got the Vikings at here. We're going to have our Friday video coming out previewing the game. Go ahead.
Oh, let's say number 1.
Oh, number 1. Yeah. if Philly loses tomorrow night, I'm down for it. But man, it's a good time to be a Vikings fan, man. Yeah. It's frustrating. It's a ride, but at the end of the day, you got to just enjoy it. You got to enjoy what we're doing, and it's fun. Go Cowboys, beat them boys, get us 5.5 game lead in the division, and we'll see you guys next time on the GG Sports Podcast. Thanks for joining us for this one.
Skol Vikes.